I wanted to make a video because we have over 100 subscribers now. And I want to thank you all for subscribing and for making comments. And if you haven't subscribed, just for tuning in and viewing. I'm not sure why 100 is so exciting to me, but it is. There's something, I mean, it's a nice round number. It's like a benchmark. It just gives me some encouragement to keep making these videos because it takes time to do it. And I've made 11 cents from YouTube. Thank you, YouTube. I'm inspiring you. You're inspiring me. Every time somebody subscribes or makes a comment, it sort of reinforces, okay, this is a worthwhile venture. Because I don't have that much time left and I don't really want to waste it. My kids think this is goofy. But it's fun to connect with like-minded people. So thank you. So somebody asked me the other day, they were visiting and came to look in Faith, if these things stayed up on here. And they do. And the reason they do is that this, it's black so you really can't see it, but it's this foamy stuff. I have it here too. That's made by the same people that make contact paper for your shelves, lining your shelves. It's rubberized and things stick to it. So all of that is loose. Pick it up, put it down. But it doesn't fall. Huh. Which is great. I'll have it in the kitchen too. So the stuff doesn't slide off. Some people had questions, and Dawn, a recent subscriber, had asked me if I had a budget when I first got Faith. So I'm on my second year of Faith ownership. We haven't been on the road all 2 years, but pieces of 2 years. Anyway, Dawn's question was about if I had a budget when I did when I started the renovations, and if I went over my budget. And the answer is, I had a sum of money that I got from a lawsuit 10 years ago. I won a judgment, and I thought, well, I'm never going to see that. And miraculously, 10 years later, I got a notice that due to certain circumstances, they were going to pay that money. And that's when, and I had been thinking about this kind, what was I going to do in my retirement years? How was I going to survive? Because I knew I couldn't stay where I was. Anyway, so I got a lump of money. I got $10,000. And some of that, I didn't spend all of that on Faith. Some of that was the purchase money. I spent $4,000 on Faith as she was. It cost me $1,600 to put new tires on it. That was 7 tires. It cost $2,000 for somebody to work on the engine, replace all the old blah blah blah. There wasn't any major repairs. It was just sort of replacing, diagnosing, farting around. Too much money, but that's what it cost. And then I spent $1,000, or maybe even more than that, on some knuckleheads in Boulder who were supposed to be working on treating the roof. They took out the air conditioner for me, which the whole thing. They did a bunch of, they were supposed to work on the interior, the coach part. They tested all the equipment and told me if it worked or not. And so if you can do it yourself, do it yourself. I just didn't know enough. If I knew now when I knew, if I knew then what I know now, I would have had the mechanical work done because I can't do that kind of stuff. But I would have skipped the guys who I hired to work on the coach. Anyway, so that, right there was, how much is that? Another $4,000 almost. So now we're up to $8,000. And I spent a whole lot more than that. So here's the real answer. I never tallied up what it cost to get it on the road last summer. Summer before last. First summer. And although I saved all the receipts and I could go back and do that, I was afraid to look and see how much I spent. I had a budget in that I had a certain amount of money, and I did spend a whole lot more than that. I had to buy, the wood, all the interior stuff, some of the furniture. Then you get into the RV gadget stuff. It's exciting in the beginning. I shouldn't have bought most of that crap. Like, I don't know, little cutesy things for your RV, hanger-upper things. And I didn't go crazy on those things, but I did buy some stuff. It just sort of dribbled and drabbled. The inverters, the work I did last winter, putting in the solar, redoing the plumbing. What else did I do last winter? Oh, I changed the dining area around, bought a desk. That was a few thousand more. So $1,000 here, $1,000 there. Yeah, it's been expensive. And to answer other comments, that's why I didn't give up. It was like, oh my God, I'll never be able to sell it for what I put into it. And so last winter really was a point where I went, am I going to ditch it, or am I going to make it work? And I ended up, I considered ditching it. I was looking at other RVs, smaller Class Bs, and thinking of alternatives and how much I could take out and put it into a new vehicle and redo it, maybe a van, something that I could maneuver a little easier. But after a little bit of soul searching and just being in it, I already had so much into it, financially as well as emotionally, that I decided just to go for it and finish it, make it livable. And I think I did that. I'm very happy with it, that part of it. Just not happy with the holes I put in the roof. But that, I'll get that worked out. And she does need a little engine work now. Nothing major. I just need somebody to tweak it. And there's a place here in town that does know something about carburetors. I haven't gone to talk to them, but it's kind of their thing. So when I'm ready to head out in the spring, I'll make an appointment, because I have this downhill. I'm not sure I can get out of the driveway easily, and I don't want to. I'm not going up and down. Once I'm up, and when I go down, I'm down. I'll be going. You trade campground prices for house prices. Still relatively inexpensive. I have use of her car. It's a good situation for me. It's a really good situation for her too. So win-win. I wanted to show you this really cool part of living in my mom's house. Instant fireplace. Gonna love that this winter.